Get out!
Hello tankers and tankettes, welcome to one of my replays, and it's a Comet game. Now, this is a pretty recent one. As you may or may not know, on the EU server currently there's a mission where if you play medium tanks enough in a day and fulfill the requirements, after fulfilling those requirements 25 days in a row, you get a Type 62 Tier 7 light tank, basically for free. And it's not the first time they've done a mission where you can win a premium in this way, but it's the first time where they've made it daily missions. And I've been playing my Centurions. I still have the Centurion one at this point, but I'm now onto the Centurion 7 one. And I've been playing the Centurions for the damage and for the XP, and this was a day where I'd basically played the Centurions, wanted to do something a bit more low tier because I just needed another couple of kills. And it doesn't matter what tier you make the kills on. Now, there are a couple of things about this replay, and one thing is that although I'm top tier, our top tier heavies, the matchmaking is actually pretty good. It's 3 top tier heavies per side. Our top tier heavies are in fact totally, well, I say totally useless. They're near totally useless. 2 out of 3 of them do practically no damage. I think the highest any of them gets is 1500 damage. And they're going to totally useless locations for heavy tanks. And they're doing it right at the start of the match as well. So they're basically, I realised very, very quickly that effectively we don't have any heavies to rely on at all. There are also 3 artilleries per team. And the other thing I'm going to point out when it happens is our GW Panther, who is the kind of artillery player that nobody likes, and you'll see why. So this could be worse though. I'm in a Comet, and the Comet's got really good gun depression, and I'm top tier, and this is a map where I can use that gun depression. So there we go, I set the T-29 on fire once, he's actually puts it out, but second shot sets him on fire again. And that's artillery trying to shoot me, and I actually bounce a shot on my gun mantler there. And there's the other arty. Well, one of the other arties does manage to actually splash me. Now, you're a bit safer on slopes like this when it comes to artillery, but you're not totally immune. So this is the best place I could kind of be right now in terms of trying to stay safe from arty, apart from hiding behind a building, and that would be worse than useless in this situation. So I'm just helping this other Comet work over the Black Prince. And you can see the gun depression at work here, and the rate of fire as well. This thing has got an excellent DPM. The penetration's not that great, but when you're top tier and when you've got the sides of tanks to shoot at, then it's really great. Now, that's what I mean. Our GW Panther, yeah, he's the kind of arty player that goes after frags. He doesn't go after damage to try and help out the team. He goes after frags. And he totally unnecessarily shot that low health Black Prince and killed our Panther in the process. That is the kind of arty player that, when people say scumbags, you know, they mean that kind of arty player. They mean the kind of arty player that suicides at the end of the match. They mean the kind of arty player that just is generally uncommunicative and an arsehole. The GW Panther didn't even mark his target. There was no warning. He just fired, nailed our Panther at the same time. So yeah, that guy is the worst kind of artillery player, the kind of artillery player that nobody likes, even their own team. So that's the other T-29. We've taken out 2 out of 3 heavies, and, well, the top tier heavies. The other Comet's actually going for the flank, so I'm going to do my best to keep this T-29's attention occupied. There's still a Hellcat back there as well. Now, 2 out of 3 of our top tier heavies have actually died uselessly in the valley. Like I said, they went to a completely pointless position. So, wow, the dodges are real. The RNG was with me for that one. And I knew I was probably going to take a hit there, but I'm trying to keep our Comet alive at the same time. And again, the GW Panther going for the frags. He's not trying to help us out with damage, he's just going for the frags. Yeah, okay, sure. There's the Hellcat. He's popped in, but I'm not too worried. I'm just going to charge him down, basically. I'm going to be super aggressive here. I know his turret traverse is not great. I know his armor's not great. So, pow, 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 there we go. 2,500 damage. Now, this is where I make a mistake of my own, and yeah, this is my fault. I'm driving in a straight line, and artillery nails me. Yeah, okay. I'm incredibly lucky that it didn't actually kill me. But, wow, that one missed entirely. So again, luck. But, I'm gonna say, yeah, actually, no, that one was my bad. I was driving a straight line. I should have been wiggling around. I should have been, dodging a bit. But yeah, I will own up to that one. That's one of those cases where instead of raging about artillery, actually that was my bad. That was making things easy for them, and that's the worst thing you can do in any tank. So myself and the other Comet have come through that alive, and that's pretty crucial. I couldn't have done it without the Comet. The Panther helped a bit as well, but our artillery nailed him for I don't know how many hundreds of points of damage, so that was just stupid, frankly. There's Chiri on the opposite slope. We've kind of won the other side as well, but you'll see from the scores, it's not because our heavies were there especially. The surviving IS has got 1 kill. He's going to get another kill before the end, but he's the guy that has 1500 damage. And you can see I'm already well above that. So I've had to be a heavy tank for the purposes of this replay. And yeah, it's so easy to, in retrospect, say, oh, somebody else on the team did this wrong, or they did that wrong, and they could have done this better. But sometimes somebody just does something so completely wrong that you just really can't argue with it. Like the ISs did go to very, very poor positions on the map. There's no arguing with that, and they paid for that. They were totally ineffective, and 2 out of 3 of that platoon, because they were platooned, just died pointlessly. Now, that Stuart's obviously spotted me, and he's got the little derp, so if he gets lucky he can kill me. But, 2 Comets pounding away with that DPM, he wasn't going to last very long. So it's just a matter of mopping up the enemy artillery. And, that piss! Yeah. Bit of a frog in the throat there. I'm so lucky that did not actually, 29 health. That could so easily have killed me. Our Type 58 goes in for the ram kill, and I don't know quite why I had HE shells loaded here, but I managed to kill one of the enemy scumbags anyway. And it's just the Hummel and a T-34-1. And our IS, who is incredibly low health, is tangling with this T-34-1, and he's actually going to get the last kill. You see that he's got very little health left himself. So it's not like he was in a really strong position. He actually managed to lose most of his health in the process as well. Not like I didn't, but partly that was my fault for, I've already said that was my fault for driving in a straight line on flat ground. That was kind of asking for trouble when there's 3 artillery around. I did have some luck though. I will say that as well. But on the whole, I think the fact that I was in a Comet, that is what made that possible. If I'd been in something else fast firing, like say the Panther, which has got terrible gun depression in comparison, or I don't even know what other tier 7s have I got. The T-43 is a recent acquisition. Again, that would have been incredibly difficult to do in a T-43 because that's got abysmal gun depression. So it was the Comet's good attributes that really made that possible. It was the maneuverability, it was the gun depression, and it was the excellent DPM. And you can see there, that was an ace mastery. I already have my Comet ace, but a high caliber, by far a high caliber. The next best on the team was the Type 58 with 1800 damage. Then the other Comet was 3rd place with 1300. Then the IS with 1500, and then one of the other IS on that platoon with less than 1000. And it's a bit of a drop off after that. And now a GW Panther that managed to team kill somebody. He had 2 enemy tank kills with 639 damage. And 1 friendly tank kill for I don't even know how much damage, but it was there. So there we go, 1400 XP in a Comet where I basically had to be a heavy tank as well as being a medium tank. And you can kind of do that with the Comet on the right sort of map, and this was the right sort of map. Despite the fact that there were 3 artillery, there was enough terrain to work with that it made it difficult for them to actually hit me up until the point where I did a silly thing, and then I made it easy for them to hit me. So yeah, but apart from that, I mean, that just shows you what the Comet can do. 3000 damage is fairly respectable for a tier 7 medium, I think. And I think in that space of time, that was not even a 7-minute battle. In that space of time, you would struggle to output that much damage with really many of the other tier 7 mediums. So that just, when we talk about DPM, that is the kind of thing that we mean. That is why DPM can matter an awful lot. It's not just your penetration, it's not just your shell damage, but it's how fast you fire and how effectively you can get your gun on target as well. And that's kind of a hidden stat with a lot of tanks. Gun depression matters an awful lot too. These things there's an interplay going on, is what I'm talking about here. So yeah, the Comet, it's a good tank. Some people don't think so, and mostly when people go, oh, it's not a good tank. That's because it's something that doesn't necessarily fit with their playstyle. And yes, there are tanks in the game that are genuinely quite limited. They're quite poor in a lot of ways. But there are a lot of middle ground tanks where actually if you find them comfortable to play, you can really make them work for you. And people mistake being uncomfortable in them for them actually being bad machines, and that's definitely not the case with the Comet. It's a good machine if you can get the most out of it, if you can enjoy that playstyle. And I actually do. The Cromwell and the Comet, though they're quite different machines, they are really the first medium tanks I ever played that I properly enjoyed playing as mediums, and I'm slowly trying to get up higher in the other medium lines, but it's really no coincidence that I have reached near the top now of the British medium line first, just because I enjoy the British mediums generally. There's just something about them that they work for me where other medium lines didn't quite do it. So if you liked this replay, you can hit the like button below, you can leave any comments, you can subscribe to my channel, and as always, stay tuned for more.